Here are some new features added just recently to the batch translator in the local AI translator. We will start in offline mode, disconnected from the internet. The model we have currently in use is the Translate Gemma 12B model. When we translate this from English to French, in this case on an average laptop without high-end GPU, we are running it in CPU mode. The GPU has only 6 GB of video RAM, so the 12B variety of Translate Gemma doesn't fit in the GPU. So Allama runs it on CPU. Other models can run it faster, especially if they are small enough to fit into your GPU. But some models are just inherently optimized for speed and running locally on average hardware. Let's translate with the smaller 4B variety of Translate Gemma. Simply go to Model Management and change the model to Translate Gemma 4B. Wait for the new model to appear in the lower left of the interface. When ready, click Translate again. There will be an initial delay. The first translation takes longer, as some things get loaded and initialized. Eventually, subsequent translations of the same or other content will run faster. Plus, there are a few parameters available for fine-tuning the model execution. When you enter the batch translator, it will remind you and ask if you want to review or change any of those parameters. Some parameters which may affect the speed include the temperature and the context size. Try and see if you can reduce it to smaller values. The number of CPU cores involved in the translation can also be set. By default, a value of 0 tells Allama to pick its own best choice. If you know your CPU has 20 cores, you might want to force it to 18 cores, keeping a few cores for other tasks. If you made any changes, apply these new settings to enter the batch translator. And here's the newest interface for the batch translator. Still a work in process, it keeps getting better. If you know the source language of your many files, you can pre-select it here. If you don't know in what language they are, or if in fact they are in multiple languages, you can use the checkbox for auto-detection. This may take a little extra time, of course. Let's keep it as English. As for the target language, let's set it to French, just one target language for this example. French was already pre-selected. That's because we had French as the target language already in the main interface. Let's select the files to translate. Select the source folder and browse to where your files are. After selecting the folder, click Show Files. There may also be subfolders now. Let's ignore it for now and simply select one file to translate. The files each have some extra options. You can open the file to preview it. You can remove it from selection, or view the match matrix if it was matched in a search. Or you can ask the AI to summarize the content of that file. Let's do that in another video. For now, let's see the throughput. Over there in the upper right zone, you will see the folder where the translated files will appear. By default, a translated file goes there directly. Another new option now is to designate a RAM file for temporary storage of the translations. This will make the file I/O faster. You can even use it with a fast SSD drive. This may still have a beneficial impact on overall throughput. For example, if your default drive is automatically synchronizing to a cloud backup such as MS OneDrive or Dropbox, Google Cloud, etc., while your ultra-fast SSD drive might not be affected by such delays. If you translate many small files and the overall time is measurably affected by the saving of the output files, using the temporary RAM drive or SSD drive can help. Here I didn't set up a RAM drive yet, but I can point to a folder on my fast SSD drive called Fake RAM Drive. What's also new here is that you can see and switch models. Currently I am using Translate Gemma 4B. Submitting it for translating this one file, it will take a little extra time for the first file. The first one ran at about 11 words per second. A second translation gives us around 18 words per second. This is a rather slow system, so we likely don't spend much time in saving the translation to disk. The extra temporary storage may not make a big impact here. Still looking at around 18 words per second. So this is roughly the speed on this particular system, with this model and language direction. Let's try another model at 1.2 billion parameters instead of 4. This model from Liquid AI should be faster. We're now getting about 47 words per second on the first attempt. Additional translations will go even faster now that the engine has been initialized. Remember also to double-check the translated results. You can open the files resulting from translations. This one is indeed in French, as expected. The next step would typically be to translate many more files. For example, just 5 files from this list. You can also preview them to see that they are indeed in English. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for more on the local AI translator.